February 11th, 2021, our review. We're going to use our less than, greater than, or equal to symbols to compare our following numbers. So on this side over here, we're going to compare. We have the first one, we have -10, and then -10 and 1/10. So remember, if we're looking at a number line, would you rather owe somebody $10 or would you rather owe somebody $10.10? I'd rather keep that 10 cents and owe them $10. So -10 is going to be closer to 0, and -10 is going to be bigger. Remember, if we have our little Pac-Man here, our Pac-Man big mouth eats that big number. Yes, it kind of looks like an egghead or something, but we're going to go with it. All right, now, next one, -1 and -7 out of 7, or -7/7. So this is a fraction. Remember, anything divided by itself is just 1. So really, -7 divided by 7 is going to be what? Well, that's going to be -1. So -7 divided by 7 is just -1. So -1 and -1 here. Well, if we take a look, we have -1, -1. Oh my goodness, they are equal to each other. So you're going to take this equal sign down here and you're going to drag that in this box. All right, last one on this left side. We have -65/100ths and -60/100ths. So if we have that negative, we're going to figure out, okay, well, what would we rather owe people? Would you rather give somebody 65 cents or would you rather give them 60 cents? I'd rather give them 60 cents. 65 cents is too much to give them. So that -60 cents at -0 and 60/100ths is going to be greater than or closer to 0 than -65/100ths. So that's how our alligator mouth is going to be there. So we have this greater than, equal to, and then that less than. All right, let's look over here on the right. Plot the approximate, so the about location of each of the number on the number line. Then we're going to use that less than, greater than, or equal to compare the two numbers. So first of all, we're going to compare and we're going to plot the approximate locations of those points. First, let's see how many spaces are in between our 0 and 1 here. So let's see, for each of our little tick marks here, we have 1 space, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means each of the tick marks are going to be 1/5 because there's 5 of them. So this first tick mark is going to be 1/5. Second one will be 2/5. Now, if you do 1/5, 1 divided by 5 in a calculator, you will get 0.2. If you do 2 divided by 5 in a calculator, you'll get 0.4, or 4/10. 0 and 6/10, 0 and 8/10, and then you get 1. I know that's a little bit tricky to see. I'll do it sideways here. -0.2, -0.4, -0.6, -0.8. All right, so, look at this. We've got -0 and 4/10. So this first dot is going to go -0 and 4/10. So it's going to go, start at that 0, we'll go back to that -4/10. So it's going to be in the second tick mark. So this dot is going to be on that second tick mark. The next one, -8, or -80/100ths, or -8/100ths, or tenths. We're going to go back to that 8, so it is going to be 1 right before that. And this is going to be over here. Which is bigger? Which is closer to 0? Here's our 0. Which is closer to 0? Yes, we are going to have the 0 and -0 and 4/10 is closer to 0. So remember, big mouth eats the bigger number. So we're going to have that -0 and 4/10 is greater than -0 and 80/100ths. And that's going to be it for our review. Great job.